It's almost noon. I've had too much coffee, but I'm in conspiracy mode. So coffee talk it is. We're going to do another coffee talk. Now, I was torn. I wanted to do the reptilians, shapeshifters, but I'm just kind of the Mandela effect video led me down the Cern road. So let's talk a minute about what they are doing at this underground facility known as Cern. Now, I could do a whole storyline on how the attempt at creating one of these in Texas was shot down and how it affected me personally in a lot of ways, including some land purchases that I did and or didn't make based on the superconductor super collider that they were building in Texas. But they went ahead and built a much bigger one apparently in I believe it's in Switzerland. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that's Switzerland. But nonetheless, one of the theories about the Mandela effect is that it was caused by what they're doing at CERN. And I will say this, that there is a Hindu god, and I believe it's Shiva, the destroyer, if I'm correct. Remember, I do everything off memory. I never look this stuff up and make notes, really, unless I'm talking about current news and I want to get names right or something. But, you know, this conspiracy theory stuff, you know, I quote the Bible from memory. I rarely get it out and look at it. So if I get it wrong, it's maybe because of that or the Mandela effect. My Bible's changed. That'll make you doubt yourself. It's a good excuse if I get a scripture wrong. It's the Mandela effect. It used to say that. Trust me. I don't know. But the CERN thing is disturbing. You know, when they choose one of these Hindu gods to be the image of their Stargate, this thing they're creating, searching for the God particle at CERN, that's a little concerning. Let me tell you something else. I saw a video purportedly shot from an observer of what looked like a human sacrifice by black hooded characters going on in the middle of the night in the center of the grounds at the CERN facility where all of the scientists live. I was later told that it was a simulated human sacrifice and not an actual one. But what were they doing out there in the middle of the night in black-clad, hooded garments, pretending to sacrifice someone in front of this goddess, or this Hindu god, which I believe was Shiva the Destroyer, the one with all the arms. So, anyway, there's been also some purported, rumored, to be people that work there that said, you know, what have we done? You know, some of these, who knows whether this stuff is fake. The internet is so fake. I think that's one reason people like me is I'm pretty real. I just am what I am. I'm a guy in a van down by the river. But, so it's hard to tell what end is up. But I've heard people come out that say, you know, I worked at CERN and we opened up a portal to hell and all these demon spirits started coming out. Or other ones that described it as, you know, I worked at CERN and we opened a Stargate and all these aliens started coming out. And we can't stop it. I've heard all kinds of stories. The Mandela effect to me is the biggest thing that makes me look twice at CERN because they're clearly messing around in God's territory there with what they're doing to begin with. I think even more than cloning or something like this, you know, the CERN thing is disturbing. That, you know, this could be very much construed as a sin against God, you know, a Tower of Babel kind of thing, you know. Could we all start speaking some unknown language and can't communicate with each other tomorrow? I mean, honestly, the world has gotten so weird with all of this that it wouldn't surprise me to open up the door to my front door of my house rather, and look out and see a bunch of flying scorpion things in armor going around stinging people. You know, that is in the scripture that I'm going to kind of look at right now. And I did go out and get my Bible. The Mandela effect has got me concerned. But I wanted to make sure I got the name right. And I'm looking at the ninth chapter of the book of Revelations, where the fifth angel sounds. And the bottomless pit is opened up. Now, the thing is that the ninth chapter of the book of Revelations that's the fifth in a series of angels that are sounding trumpets and then things are happening. And a lot of the things prior to the ninth chapter and the fifth sounding of the trumpet, I think I can't find a way that they've actually happened yet. Like, there's some pretty big things, unless it's allegory and imagery, which a lot of people believe it is. My dad used to think that the bottomless pit and these scorpion creatures, these flying scorpions that came out of it, were helicopters with machine guns that were stinging people. But then there's the whole thing where they don't die. I want to get past all that. Don't get me down the Revelation. Talk about rabbit holes. We can argue all week long and have to take a break on Sunday to come back on Monday and keep arguing about all this stuff. But there is the thing where they open the bottomless pit and a demon is named. And the demon is Abaddon, I do believe. Hey, I want to show you something. Just so you don't think that I'm making this stuff up. But I want you to... Now, see, look how much work. Can you see? Wait, you can't see that. That's awful. Let me get it over here where you can see it. Can you see all of the... My Bible is seriously marked up. I believe in writing in the Bible. I used to get in trouble for writing the Bible, but I was drawing cartoons. This is different. And if you look at the Mandela effect, some of the discussions about the Mandela effect, in the comments section, I talk about my daddy's Bible. I can go back and re-look at his sermons, how they're all, anyway, enough of that. I'm hypnotizing you with the Bible. But, so, yeah, Abaddon is the demon that was supposed to be released from the pit. And, a bunch of demons came with him that are these scorpion creatures. Is this what happened at Cern? Did they open up the bottomless pit? Did demons that were once vanquished to some alternate universe somehow get released? Are these literal images or spiritual ones? Is that what these demons look like that are causing Trump derangement syndrome? They're getting these people to, scream at the sky and stuff like that. I will say it just seems like people have lost their minds since the Trump election. And I can't really just look at it and think that it's politics. I mean, politics used to be something that people were somewhat passionate about, but you weren't going to ruin a friendship over it. People are getting divorced over the Trump thing. The pro-Trumpers and anti-Trumpers that are married to each other are divorcing over this stuff. When did politics get so vile and so hate-filled? I don't recall them ever being like that, but maybe I'm from a different alternate universe, where the Ford doesn't have a curlicue. If you don't know the Mandela effect, I'm probably speaking Latin to you right now. But what did Cern open up? Did they tear a hole in the space-time continuum, a tear in the universe? Did they release demons that have been vanquished to another dimension into our Earth? Are we being invaded by aliens because they opened up a Stargate? I think all those things could be true. They could be demons. I always think demons and aliens are the same thing. But that's a whole nother video and a whole nother argument. But yeah, CERN is quite concerning. And I'm discerning that there may be some issues at CERN. And what does that mean for our reality? Is this what has to happen before Christ can return? Is this the reason why everything in the book of Revelation seems so odd and bizarre and impossible to happen, and yet now it seems like some things that are bizarre and impossible to happen are happening? Is it because CERN has done this? Did the Bible foresee this all those many centuries and centuries, those thousands of years ago? Well, this is the book of Revelation, so it's only a couple thousand years old. But, yeah, what's up with CERN? Did they screw up this universe, our world? Is God himself going to have to come back and kind of set things back in order and get us back on track? Are we looking at a global, universal, potentially reset with all of this? I don't know. You decide. But I'm definitely concerned about CERN. God save the world.